Right then, Stu.
Well,
We're in a nice little spot now, aren't we?
we're in the right spot, but let's go turn the clock back a little bit, because Maddie's just reminded me I haven't had one of my Ronnie Corbett monologues for a while.
God, yeah,
That's what they are.
that's what they are.
All I need is an armchair to go with it. Anyway, I can't remember exactly where we left you before, but since then we've been up to Anchorage near Malpass, further up is it the Foul River or the Truro River? Truro River, which is a nice quiet little anchorage. There's a few boats there, and while we were there, anchored up there, dinghied into Malpass itself a couple of times, and then walked into Truro, caught the bus back, I think that's on one of the clips, and came back to the boat, and that was quite nice. It was a really quiet anchorage, beautiful anchorage, not a single yapping dog. Brilliant. I don't know whether they just weren't there or somebody's drowned them all. I love dogs, I just don't like yapping dogs. So there was nothing like that. So we stayed there, 3 or 4 nights at anchor.
Yeah, it was very hot as well.
It was nice and warm, wasn't it? Yeah, it's a beautiful location, quiet. It was just so relaxing. So we upped anchored from there and we went to Hell's Mouth. No, Helford. Helford. Everybody raves about Helford and how lovely it is up there. And you can't dispute the fact that it's beautiful.
It is beautiful.
Is it more beautiful than, say, where we were near Malpass? Debatable. That's eye of the beholder. But it was nice. But what was interesting, it was quite breezy when we got there, wasn't it? It was rainy and breezy. And we were followed in by a large motorboat, a sort of an old-fashioned type motorboat, who was with us the whole way. And there's a place up there called Fisherman's Creek. Frenchman's Creek. So I didn't want to go up the creek to anchor because we weren't familiar with the area. So I anchored right near the entrance to Fisherman's Creek, Frenchman's Creek. Near the bank, so we were sheltered from the weather. There wasn't really any boats around us. It was quite nice. I dropped the anchor, and we settled down. Well, blow me, this damn big motorboat came and he anchored in front of us. Now, if there's one thing you don't do, is you anchor in front of somebody because you've no idea where their anchor is. And also, he had seen us anchor, so he put his anchor down virtually exactly where ours was. Big bloody motorboat, stopped there, left his engine money, so all the fumes from the engine were coming over us. I thought, you stupid bugger. By the time we got the dinghy out to go ashore, he had gone and left his boat. He left a boat there. Anyhow, we got quite. I was really concerned about this because if we both, we would have swung into him because the scopes were different.
Well, when the tide changed, it turned out we would have.
Yeah, when the tide changed, because we were anchored on the incoming tide. When the outgoing tide came, we would have actually knocked him. I've never seen such crass stupidity out of him, but it seems to be the sign of the times. So, however, we went into Helford, we found a beach somewhere, anchored, got off the boat, had a pint, came back to the boat, and I said to Mary, listen, Mary, I'm sorry, but I'm just too concerned about this. So we up-anchored, and we moved more into the middle of the channel, and let him get on with where he was.
Yeah.
So right that we did, because we were able to let out more scope, we weren't in anybody's way, and this guy himself, the next morning, the wind really got up to 30 plus knots. He was dragging, so there would have been all sorts of problems there. He up and left, and everything settled down nicely. But gee whiz, it was blowing in Helford. So we were sort of confined to the boat, but the anchor held. All his investment in good anchor, a good chain, paid off. We took the dinghy into Helford, to the Helford Sailing Club, didn't we? Because the thing about Helford is beautiful, but you try and land anywhere in your dinghy, boy oh boy do they not want you there. They want you to pay, they don't want you to do this, you don't want you to do that. And there's, you know, it's really a place for the well-heeled, as it was in the pilot book I read.
Mm.
So we went to the Halford Sailing Club to pick up some water, get rid of our rubbish and look around. And then when we got in the dinghy to come back, this wind had really piped up. And we had to, well, back to the dinghy was a good half a mile, wasn't it, at least? Into the wind, and it was wind over tide, and we got soaked. Absolutely soaked. When we got back on the boat, we were wetter than the river we were on. Wasn't it?
Yeah.
And that night, the Tuesday, it just, we couldn't leave the boat. It was just so windy. But the
Yeah.
good thing about it was it gave us confidence in our ground tackle. It gave us confidence in our anchor itself, which is a Rockner, and we had 40 metres of 8mm chain out, which gave us a scope at high tide of about 5-6 to 1, and at low tide about 12 to 1 or something like that. So the philosophy of it does you no good when it's in the locker, put your anchor and chain on the seabed, held us there. So we then moved, a couple of nights there, we moved down to the entrance to the river, anchored in the anchorage in Duggan Bay, I think, or something like it's called. Took the dinghy ashore to the nearest beach, walked to the nearest pub where they did grub, but only they didn't. Grub stopped, kitchen closed at 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock in the evening. And we walked half a mile, again got soaked, to go to this pub and walked back. Well, Maddie had a bit of a meltdown.
Well, I ruined my hill figure trip. White hill figure trip.
Well, they got muddy.
Yeah.
And if you're going to walk around, obviously, in muddy fields in designer clothes, something's going to go wrong.
Well, I didn't realise we're going to walk into a muddy field. And
Anyway,
all my other stuff was wet from
before.
So I didn't really have a choice.
Anyway, so we got back to the boat, and it was this thick Cornish mizzle, which is sort of rain and drizzle, came down, and thick fog. We could not see the boat from the shore where we'd left our dinghy. But I'd made a note on the way in, because I could see this happening, of the boats on the way in. So we just sort of boat hopped till we found ours. Got on the boat and spent a wet, miserable, drizzly night on the boat, didn't we? And the next morning we woke up and you couldn't see your hand in front of your face with the fog had come down. Photobombed by a cat. Portia,
It's coming up dinner time.
Portia, would you mind just moving, please? Come on. Portia, come on. Thank you. Okay. You don't argue with the Admiral. So anyway, we woke up. You couldn't really see anywhere at all. But by the time we were up and ready to go, it had cleared, and we went back to Falmouth. It was only what, an hour, wasn't it? If that, just around the corner. But this time at Falmouth, we didn't go onto a mooring buoy. We anchored. When we got to the anchorage, it was a bit miserable, wasn't it? It was blowing a bit. But fortunately, when we got to this anchorage, which was a very small area, one of the harbour master guys in there was there who had seen before, and he said, "Come on, stick your anchor down there." And he gave us a lovely spot to anchor, closest to the pier wall, and then we put the anchor down. I think we had about 30 metres out, didn't we? Because in this tight anchorage, you've no idea how much chain people have got out, so you're still able to judge your swinging circles. But it was absolutely fabulous because we were so close to the dinghy pontoon to get onto land that a couple of times we rode it. But
You didn't even wear your life jacket for
I was a naughty person because it was only a couple of hundred yards.
On his life jacket.
I didn't wear my life jacket, which is naughty. But we were so close to that we were just popping ashore, popping back to the boat, popping ashore.
Yeah.
Like we were crossing a road.
It's such a relief to be back there, though, wasn't it?
It was absolutely
And I
good.
love that place.
Falmouth is got to be one of our favourites.
One of our favourites.
It's so varied. You can find things you want to find. It's
got it all
really,
going on.
really, really nice. So there we topped up all the water, because the water tanks, inboard water tanks on the boat, get used by the heads, the shower, the toilet and stuff like that. And then the drinking water, we don't drink from the tank, so we drink from little water containers. We've got about half a dozen of these 15-litre containers, which we use to transport water from wherever we're staying to the boat, fill all the services up at the boat, and we have a thing that whenever we go ashore, we take water bottles and fill them up, because that's the one thing you could never rely on getting anywhere else.
Never know when you'll get some
But
more
the Anchor was beautiful. We went out for a couple of nights, didn't we, for something to eat?
Yeah?
We had lovely food in the Chain Locker.
Chain Locker, man.
We're not sponsored, unfortunately.
I'll share some pics of it.
But the Chain Locker on
So
Falmouth Quay, the best food ever. And those of people who know me well know that I don't eat out comfortably.
They're mussels.
Oh, the starter mussels were as much as most places give you as a main course, wasn't it?
They were stunning, weren't they? They were
Cooked to perfection.
With
Rattler cider.
And cream. And oh my God.
They were
So
really,
good.
really, really nice. And we had a 3-course meal. Boy, oh boy. I mean, the dinghy, we had to make sure we pumped that up fully to get us back, because we were so full. But that was really nice. And I don't, I'm terrible for things like that.
Yes, yeah.
I am. I've got to see the value in something. But anyway, enough about my qualities. And then we went for a walk one of the days there, across the other side of the bay, as it were, to a beautiful beach. What was it called? Glynis Beach or something like that?
I can't remember. It's got a really strange name.
It's a weird name, but it was beautiful. We had a cup of coffee at this lovely little restaurant-y cafe thing, which was real good quality. It was really nice. You could look over on the beach, and it took us back to the days when we had beachy holidays. It was really beautiful, wasn't it?
It's very nice.
And then as we were walking back, we discovered this weird the theatre, the Pavilion Theatre in Falmouth.
Princess Pavilion or something?
Princess Pavilion, and they did grub, and that was good grub, wasn't it?
Mm.
I had some beer there. Mentioning the beer, what we're trying to...
All right.
You're welcome. That's a poor bird. He's scared of flying. When we got there, whenever we go anywhere, we try to have a pint of beer, of the local beer, at a pub when we're there. It's like, in a way, it's giving back to, we're buying something from the community, and we're resting our weary limbs and what have you. So we had a lovely pint there, didn't we? Some really nice local beer.
I had the Atlantic
Storm or something.
It's really good.
Yeah,
really nice.
So that was a real
Almost as
find.
good as Doom Bar, which is my favourite.
Doom Bar. But what we say is Falmouth, if you go away, even at the front, but you come away from the front, lovely place. And there's a nice Tesco. There's 2 Tesco's there. There's one small little Tesco's, and then there's a much bigger high street one, Express. So we managed to do all our provisioning there as well. So we got everything completely and utterly topped up. Water, fuel, we topped the fuel, the dinghy fuel, for the outboard, the diesel for the main tanks was absolutely full. So we had the main tank, diesel tank full, 2 10-litre containers, diesel full.
Yeah.
We really, because we didn't know, and we still don't know, the next time we're going to be able to top up with this lot. Because, a step back, folks, a step back. When we were in Falmouth the first time, was it?
Yeah.
And when we went and saw Jerry at FB Marine.
Oh, yeah.
He recommended this additive, Marine 16. It was not the Diesel Bug Marine 16. It's the Marine 16 Diesel Bug
thing, isn't it?
diesel additive. Cleans you everything. It cleans all your valves. So when we filled up with diesel, I put some of that in as well. Anyway, to carry on from there, so we left Falmouth to go to Plymouth. That was yesterday. Was that yesterday?
That was yesterday. That was was that 8 hours?
That was 8 hours, yeah. Because
8 hours?
the forecast.
Just use your car.
One of the things we're finding with the forecast. Right, we had a little bit of cameraman malfunction there. We talked about the forecast. Now, we don't just rely on one forecast. We look at three forecasts normally. We do the BBC, the Met Office. We do inshore waters forecast, again the BBC or Met Office inshore waters forecast to see what the inshore, and another thing called XCW, which uses a model of various things to come up with a forecast. So we look at the three forecasts. They never agree, never ever do they all agree. So which leads us to the conclusion that these forecasts are actually, we don't know what's going to happen. This is what we think might happen. It's unlikely to happen. And in fact, it definitely won't happen, forecast. And so, and that's what it transpires, because when, you know, this forecast when we came from Falmouth to Plymouth was just, the winds were twice the strength they're supposed to be, which again, the implications of that can be quite serious, health, safety-wise. And the direction was close, but you did, you know, you could have been a bit closer. So yeah, it was a lumpy ride. We difficult to hold course. The autopilot couldn't hold the course. I had a lot of trouble holding the course. Maddie probably did the best job of everybody in holding the course, which was nice because it meant that I could sit down and concentrate more on the running of the boat, navigation, where we're going, what have you. But it was hard, wasn't it?
Very hard.
It really was. We had to take turns in doing it.
It was tiring, wasn't it?
It's very tiring.
You did have to keep taking a break from it.
Yeah, it is. It's a bit tiring because, you know, you're always, and this boat, it's got a steering connected to two twin rudders at the back. But unlike a tiller boat where you just turn it like that, this thing you've really got to turn it to make it work, and then there's a big delay between the turn of the wheel and the boat changing direction. It's a feature of, I don't know if it's all catamarans, but of this particular make of Proud. But anyway, it was exhilarating, and we were surfing down these roads.
The surfing bit was good.
So there was some big waves. I mean, there was one stage, there was another boat next to us, or say next to us, you know, about 100, 200 meters away on one side. And the waves were so big that when we went down the bottom of a wave, we couldn't see that other boat because the depth of the wave. But it wasn't dangerous, it was quite pleasurable. But tiring, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Maddie managed to go below the first time ever and come up with some food.
I did, yeah.
What was that? What was it?
It was like a spicy tuna and with like sweet corn and peppers and stuff and rice.
And some rice, but some of which was cooked in the microwave. Think about this: microwave in the middle of the sea, bounce around a microwave. Because of the systems that we've put into the boat since we bought it, means that we've got a very, very powerful battery, which enable through solar panels, so we can boil a kettle, run a microwave, air fryer, charge toothbrushes, you know, everything you could want to do through an inverter. Anyway, I digress as usual. So after this bumpy ride, we got into Plymouth, into an anchorage we've been through before, Cor Sands, which is reasonably sheltered, but after being through hell in Helford, we're quite confident, comfortable with the anchor, providing we do it properly, that it's going to hold, so we're not too worried about a bit of a blow coming through, hey? And this boat is very, very...
Given us a lot of confidence, hasn't it?
And it's quite stable, isn't it? You know, all the time, we've anchored now for 2 weeks, I think, haven't we, on the trot, coming up for 2 weeks. And slept soundly every night. I've got an anchor alarm on my phone so that if we go outside a predetermined position, it goes off. And it's only ever gone off with false alarm. A false alarm meaning operator error. Yeah, and it's so comfortable to sleep at these really, really 30 knot winds. It is. I've digressed again, as usual. Anyway, Cor Sands, we stayed at Cor Sands last night. Lovely to be there. And just stopped somebody this morning putting their anchor on top of ours, which honestly, people, the principle is if you drop your anchor, more often than not, behind a boat or just off, you work out which way they're lying, what they might have done. But the number of people who who don't think like that, and so I just had to shout to them, says, listen, you're just about to drop your anchor on my anchor. Everybody's very nice about it, but you do have to watch it. So we raised our anchor this morning. We've got this new system going, a great system going, where when we raise the anchor, Maddie's at the controls. We've got little radios, we have radios, and I tell her which way to go, forward, backwards, stop, left or right, while we're raising the anchor, because you can't expect the windlass to do it all by itself. And that works well, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. And then while I'm tidying up the front with the anchor raised, Maddie turns the boat, heads off the way we're going to go. And then when it's all done up at the front, I come to the back. And when we drop the anchor, like we've done in this beautiful bay here, called
Dandy Hole.
Dandy Hole. It's a beautiful little anchorage, which when you read the reports of it, people say, oh, we're full of this, full of that. Everybody admits it's one of the most beautiful anchorages there are in the southwest. And we got here, and it was all these doom glowers, I think, were saying it to stop people coming, because it's a beautiful little anchorage. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 boats here, and we're the 5th. And a beautiful anchorage. So we went up the Tamar, raised the anchor this morning, and again, that was me at the front. When we got to this anchor, we went up the Tamar, under the Tamar Bridge, saw cars and trains going over, up the Tamar a bit, came back into this Limpley River, this little estuary off the Tamar, Lina River, which we'd seen on our apps. And we've dropped the anchor here. Now when we drop the anchor, the other way, we do it the other way around. I'm on the controls, I'm on the front, and Maddie's doing the anchor. The reason for that is that I can work out the best place at which to drop the anchor, and then Maddie will say, right, through the radios, okay, drop the anchor. Maddie drops the anchor, 20 meters of anchor chain, aren't we? And then I pull back on that, and to make sure the anchor's set, and you know it's set because you just come to an abrupt hold. And then we decide how much more or less anchor to let out. And it's worked very well, hasn't it, with you letting out the anchor, me on the controls, and then once the anchor's held, I come up the front and set up this thing called a bridle, where we have 4 points of contact. We've got 2 points on the with this bridle, holding the boat steady, plus another check one, and plus the actual windlass. So we really do make sure that we're safe and connected to everything. And so that's where we are now. It's
right.
In Plymouth.
Cornwall. Favourite spot?
In total terms, Falmouth. What about you?
Well, Lou is somewhere that is, I don't know, just really special. I like Lou, but I have to say, I think Falmouth is my favourite.
Falmouth, from the point of view of interest and things to do.
So much. You've got so many options, haven't you? You can have quiet time. You can have busy time.
Yeah, and whether you go on the anchor ball, but on a ball, the visitors' mooring they call it. But the anchoring was the best. We were on the ball before, weren't we? And the anchoring is the best. Yeah, but like Lou was nice.
It's a nice place.
Very tricky to get into. Not to get tricky to get into, but we moored up against the wall, didn't we?
It's the wall I don't like in Lou.
Yeah.
I love Lou, and I would go there again, but the thing that would put us off would be the wall.
Because there's East and West Lou. East Lou, which we were on, was it the east side we were on? The quieter side.
No, it's west.
We were on the west side, then we moved. It was nice, the old town basically. And West Lou is where all the fancy people, all the trinkets, and east side is where all the gift shops are for stuff you don't want and stuff like that. But yeah, Lou's nice, aren't it, so far?
Best pasty?
Tell me.
Best pasty was Foy.
Foy.
That little, that shop, the bakery that was opposite Spa.
They cooked twice a day or something, didn't they?
No, that was the opposite side. There's one opposite the Spa, and they had 2 doors. One was for the pasties and cakes.
Ah, yeah.
And the other door was for the bread.
The bread,
I don't know what the place was called, but them pasties, Cornish pasties, were definitely the best we've had, like, anywhere.
Yes. We've had quite a... That's another thing
And
like the
the
beer.
worst pasty, I think, was Mevagissi. The one that had the sign up saying best pasty.
Yeah,
best
yeah, the world's best pasty. Oh,
yeah,
God.
It wasn't.
I think that it might have been Mevagissi, and maybe they think the world is just Mevagissi. I don't know that they're American owners, but it really was not. It wasn't,
Yeah.
was it? Yeah.
Yeah, definitely Foy had the best pasty.
But we've had some... so far, because we've just started going back east, haven't we, towards home now.
Yeah.
And this is the second stop on our eastward trip.
So last night in Cornwall.
Last night in Cornwall. That's very true. We're just into Cornwall, our last night in Cornwall. So from tomorrow we should get sunshine and be able to see where we're going.
Yeah.
Although we might stay here. This is the beauty of it. We don't know whether they're going to stay here or not. We shall see that. But yeah, I mean, it's a beautiful... You see, you've got the combination. You've got the combination of the quiet, like we're at the moment, very quiet anchorage. As I say, there's about 3 liveaboard boats here and one we're not too sure.
And a wreck.
And a wreck. So somebody didn't quite get the anchoring right. A sunken boat, in other words. Yeah, for solitude, and it's very quiet, and we'll see what happens, what it's like tonight. So you've got the combination of these very, very quiet, remote anchorages which we've been to, which are beautiful, and you've got the town ones. And then when you get the town ones, you've got your Falmouths, your Weymouths, your Lewes, haven't you? They're interesting.
Yeah.
And then the quiet anchorages in the West Country, let's call it the West Country side. You've got here, you've got up towards Malpass, the top of the Fowl River or Truro River, beautiful things like that. Dittersham in Salcombe was Dittersham?
Yeah.
You know, there's some lovely...
Dartmouth.
Dartmouth,
Yeah.
that's it. There's some really nice combination. You just got to search it out. And what we've learned is since leaving home is we've got a lot better at all of these things. You know, the number of mistakes and cock-ups we made and things we got wrong or didn't do right rather than we could have done better, as it were. You know, we're now far more settled in what we do in not a routine, but a procedure, isn't it?
Yeah. Favourite Cornish beer?
Oh, no, that's a difficult one. Because I've had it quite a lot and I've forgotten the names a lot of them. Korev I like as a lager.
Oh yeah, you liked that, didn't you?
Yeah, and then you got the tribute's nice, but then I've had a couple of other nice local ones, but I can't remember the names. You know, because when you have, I was going to say so many beers, when you go to so many places and you try them, you can't. I don't make a note of it like that.
I think Doombar's still my favourite.
Doombar's, well, tribute's lovely
It's
as well.
nice, easy. It's nice and easy.
Nice and easy to drink.
And then Rattler's really nice.
Yeah, I've
Which
tasted yours.
Cider.
But the best place to eat so far is
The Chain Locker.
by far. Twice we've eaten there. We had Sunday lunch there on Sunday. Surprised us.
That lovely 3-course meal we had.
And then the 3-course meal, and there was consistency of quality.
Yeah, beautiful, absolutely beautiful food.
That was very, very,
Yeah.
very nice. I have to say, fish and chips. The English do fish and chips badly. If you can call.
The nicest ones were in Weymouth so far. Anyway,
And
we're going off topic here
naturally.
because
Yeah. So as far as technical things go, technical thing goes. We'll go back to technical things. Yeah, we're getting more and more used to how to use the systems on the boat, and some things. You know, so far we haven't had. Oh God, no! Touch wood, a major problem. But there are niggles which we've made a note of, which we'll get stuck into over winter. So there you are. That's up to date on July the 22nd, I think.
okay.